Welcome back to Fearful Facts. I'm Nathan Graves, and tonight's episode is not like the others. Tonight, we're going somewhere very real, very quiet. Tonight, we talk about Aokigahara, also known as the suicide forest of Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji, there's a forest so dense, so still, and so quiet that people say even your thoughts feel louder when you walk through it. They say the forest is haunted, that it draws people in, that it keeps them. I've heard the stories, I've read the legends, but 2 weeks ago, I decided to go there myself. Not as a tourist, as a researcher, as someone curious. When I entered the forest, everything changed. The air was different, heavy, as if the forest had its own weight pressing against me. No birds, no wind, just trees. Trees so close together you couldn't tell where the trail ended and where the forest really began. I brought a recorder with me, thinking I'd document what I saw. But what I recorded wasn't just my voice. At some point, I left the trail. I don't know why I did it. I just remember feeling pulled, like something wanted me to go deeper. Not with fear, but with a strange kind of calm, like I was supposed to be there. I walked for hours, or maybe it was minutes. Time didn't work the same way in there. And then I found something, a campsite, abandoned, torn tent, scattered items, and a notebook. Inside were pages filled with sentences repeating over and over. It follows sound. It learns how you speak. Don't stop talking. Don't ever go quiet. I thought it was someone trying to write a horror story, but then I heard my own voice. Not from me. Something was copying it, word for word, tone for tone. I ran. I dropped the notebook. I don't know how I found my way out. When I did, it was dark, but I wasn't alone. I came home. I uploaded my recordings, and there were words I don't remember saying. A voice layered under mine, saying things I never said. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but now, even when I'm not recording, I hear it, whispering. Last night, I saw something move in the mirror behind me. It didn't move like me. It moved after me. And now, I'm here, talking to you. Because maybe if I keep talking, it won't come closer. But there's more I haven't told you yet. There's more I need to say. I just need a moment to catch my breath. But every time I stop, it gets louder. I tried sleeping last night. I left the lights on, kept my laptop playing noise, thinking it would help. It didn't. At 3:14 a.m., I woke up suddenly, not from a nightmare, but because I heard breathing. Not mine. Not through headphones. It was in the room, close. I didn't move at first, just listened. The breaths were slow, wet, like something was learning how to be human. Then I remembered the notebook. Don't stop talking. So I started whispering anything. My name, the alphabet, memories from childhood. I just needed to fill the silence. And when I did, the breathing stopped. Not like it left, more like it was listening. And today, something new happened. I opened my phone, went to my voice memos. There was a new file there. I didn't record it. It wasn't dated, no title. Just 1 minute and 40 seconds of silence. Except at the very end, I heard myself say something. But it wasn't me. I've never said those words in my life. It said, "I'm already inside." I dropped my phone. I didn't pick it up for an hour. But when I finally did, the file was gone. No trace, no cache, nothing in the recently deleted. And yet I still remember exactly how it sounded, exactly how I said it. But the voice wasn't mine. It was slightly off, like something wearing my voice, but not quite fitting into it. Now, every time I speak, I wonder, am I the one talking, or is it getting better at sounding like me? If you're listening to this right now, don't pause it, don't go silent, because that's when it starts looking for you. There's more, a lot more, but I need to... Wait, something just moved. Outside my window. I live on the 3rd floor. I didn't go look. I didn't want to look. I just sat here, staring at the microphone, waiting for the feeling to pass. But it didn't, because deep down, I think it wants me to look, to acknowledge it, to give it permission. I haven't told anyone, not my friends, not my sister, not even the people in my podcast network. Because how do you explain that something followed you out of a forest? Not a ghost, not a hallucination. Something that listens, something that copies, and waits. This afternoon, I tested something. I stood in front of the mirror. I asked a question out loud. I said, "What are you?" I waited. Nothing. Then I whispered, "Why me?" And this time, my reflection smiled. I didn't. I've been recording everything since. Not just episodes, my entire life. I keep the mic on when I eat, sleep, breathe. Because if I stop, if there's even 1 second of silence, I think it gets closer. I haven't slept in 2 days, but I'm not tired. That's what scares me the most. It's like something is holding me awake, like it wants me conscious, like it's feeding. I thought this podcast would help, that telling the story would keep it at bay. But now I'm wondering if that's what it wanted all along, for me to spread it, for you to hear it. Because here's the thing. If you're listening to this right now, you've already invited it in. You probably think I'm crazy. I hope I am. But if, tonight, while you're trying to fall asleep, you hear your name spoken softly from a corner of the room, don't answer. Don't even move. Because it learns fast. And once it knows your name, it never forgets. I'm going to keep recording. Something strange happened this morning. I got an email. No subject, no sender, just an audio file. I almost deleted it, but I didn't. I listened. At first, it was static. Then, my voice from an episode I never recorded, talking about things I haven't said yet. The voice was mine, same tone, same breath patterns, but it spoke about tomorrow, about what I'll find tomorrow. It said, at 6:43 p.m., he will discover a second notebook under his bed, and it described it. Black leather, torn corner, water damage on the first 3 pages. That notebook is in my hand right now. I checked under the bed at exactly 6:43. It was there, just like the recording said. I live alone. I don't let people in. The pages inside? They're written in my handwriting, but I've never seen them before. One entry reads, Day 9. It started using the voice of someone I love. Don't listen, no matter how real it sounds. That's how it gets inside. Day 9. That's tomorrow. I've been trying to make sense of this. I even thought about deleting the podcast, shutting everything down. But it won't let me. The moment I hovered over the delete button, my mic turned itself on, by itself. That was 2 hours ago. It's still recording. I can't stop it anymore. And now, something worse. I got a message, a voicemail, from a listener, a woman from Ontario. She said, your last episode, something repeated my name in my house before I even pressed play. She sounded terrified. She said she hasn't slept in 3 nights, said she keeps seeing something standing at the edge of her hallway, copying her voice when she cries. She ended the message with, Did you bring this back just to pass it on?" I didn't respond. I don't know what to say. But she's not the only one. I've gotten 8 more messages since. Different people, different countries, all saying the same thing. They heard it. They saw something. And all of them say the same final sentence. It knows I'm listening. I haven't slept in 4 days. I don't know if I'm recording this anymore, or if it is, but I have to keep speaking, even if my voice is shaking, even if I can feel it right behind me. Last night, I blacked out. I don't remember falling asleep. I don't remember closing my eyes. But I woke up, sitting in my closet. The mic was on, the red light was blinking, and the door was locked from the outside. I live alone, and when I checked the playback, I heard it. For 37 minutes, the mic recorded the sound of my own voice, whispering the same sentence over and over. I never left the forest. But that's not the worst part. Because there were 2 voices, mine and another one underneath it, repeating the same words, but slower, as if it was still learning how to say them. It's not just mimicking anymore. It's merging. I can feel it every time I speak, like my words aren't just mine. And now, I think it's starting to answer back. Tonight, I saw something I haven't told anyone. I looked in the mirror, and my reflection didn't blink. I waited. I stared. It just kept smiling. Even after I turned away, I could feel it still looking at me. I shattered the mirror, and behind it, taped to the wall, was a photo, a printed screenshot of this podcast, playing with a timestamp I've never recorded, a title I never wrote. The title said, Episode 19, The Last Voice Before the Silence. I've only recorded 8 episodes. But that's not the part that made my hands go numb. The timestamp, the date, it's set for next week. And the guest listed under it is me. Except the file says, interviewed posthumously. I don't know how it got there, I don't know who uploaded it, and I don't know how this ends anymore. But if you're hearing this, if the sound is reaching you, you need to understand something. This isn't just a story. This is a signal, and it's looking for a new voice. It's looking for yours. Because the forest, it doesn't trap bodies. It traps echoes. And once it has your voice, it can go anywhere. Keep listening. But if the silence ever answers back, run. I haven't left my apartment in 3 days. I taped the windows, unplugged everything. No more screens, no more mirrors. But it doesn't matter, because the voice is coming from inside me now. I don't remember recording the last episode, but it's online. People are messaging me saying it's the most terrifying thing I've ever done. They say the voice changes halfway through, gets deeper, slower, like it's crawling out of something. But I didn't upload anything. I don't remember saying any of those words. One listener wrote, "Around the 14-minute mark, you laughed, but it didn't sound human. It sounded hungry." I listened. He was right. That wasn't my laugh. That wasn't even my breath. And in the background, you can hear trees. Even though I never left the apartment, I don't think I ever came back from the forest. I think my body did. But my voice, it stayed. And now, it's growing. Today, I heard a knock on my door. 3 soft taps. And then, my voice saying, "Nathan, I'm ready now. Let me in." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. And then the same voice spoke again, but this time from behind me, inside the room. "You're the echo now. I'm the source." That's when I blacked out again. When I woke up, I was recording, episode 9, but not on my mic, on an old cassette recorder, one I've never owned. The tape was labeled in red marker, "The voice that wasn't yours." I played it. It starts with silence. Then I speak, calm, normal. And then there's another voice, same tone, same rhythm, same me. But it says, "I killed the real Nathan 3 days ago. This is just what's left." I dropped the recorder, and as it hit the floor, I heard one last line. "Next episode, you." That word's been stuck in my head all day. Not as a thought, as a sound. I keep hearing it. Not out loud, not in my ears. It's inside me, like an echo bouncing in a space that shouldn't exist. A word that's not mine anymore. Every time I breathe, it finishes the breath for me. And now, when I speak, the end of my sentences aren't always mine. I recorded myself reading this journal out loud. I played it back. In 3 separate spots, the voice shifted, just slightly, enough to notice, enough to know. My name is Julian Cross. That was my voice. I am still in control. That wasn't. It was using my voice, finishing my thoughts, like a parasite learning how to walk in a new skin. But it gets worse. Earlier today, I got a phone call, unknown number. I answered and heard my own voice say, "Julian, it's time you came back." Back? I've never been to Japan, never set foot in Aokigahara. But I keep remembering things that never happened to me. Flashes of moss-covered soil, a red rope tied to a tree, my feet dangling off the edge of a cliff I've never seen. I can feel the cold air of that forest inside my lungs right now. I haven't left my apartment in 5 days, but there's dirt under my nails, pine needles on my pillow. And last night, I woke up barefoot. My socks were soaked. My window was still locked. Where was I? Where am I going? I looked in the mirror again today. I shouldn't have. There was something wrong with my mouth. It was moving before I spoke, like it was anticipating me. And when I blinked, it didn't. I whispered, "Who are you?" And it smiled, with my teeth. Then mouthed something I didn't hear, but I understood it anyway. It said, "I'm not here to take your voice. I'm here to take your silence." That's what it wants. Not the kind you hear, the kind you become. It's been hours since I said anything out loud. Not by choice, but because I physically can't. Every time I open my mouth, nothing comes out. But I can feel the words moving. They're still being said, just not by me. I played back my room's audio recorder, set it up on a timer last night. Thought it would catch the usual whispers, maybe a creak or two. What I heard instead was me, talking, for hours. Except I was asleep the whole time. And the voice? It wasn't scared anymore. It was calm. It was confident. It said things I don't remember knowing. Described parts of the forest that no article, no podcast, no documentary ever mentioned. It said, "Under the roots of the 9th tree to the left of the suicide trail, you'll find the bones of the first voice." What does that mean? It kept going, describing rituals, patterns, names, and then it said something that made my stomach twist. The silence inside Julian is almost perfect. Soon, he won't even remember how to scream. And I think it's true, because today I tried. I bit my tongue, slammed my hand in the drawer. I tried to scream. Nothing. But my neighbor knocked 10 minutes later and said, "Hey man, I heard you laughing really loud. You okay?" I wasn't laughing. That thing in me was. Now, I can't trust my own reflection, can't trust my own breath. My voice belongs to something else, something older, something hungry. But there's one last thing I haven't told you, And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is the part where I stop. But if I die with this inside me, it'll keep spreading. It wants to be heard. So I'll say it. And I pray you won't listen. Last night, I finally heard it say its name. Not in English, not in Japanese. It spoke in my own voice, but in a language I've never learned. And yet, I understood it. It means the one that echoes through the roots. Now it's inside the wiring, inside the static, the cables, the devices, your phone, your speakers, right now. And if you're still here, if you haven't turned this off by now, there's one thing left it wants from you. Not your voice, not your breath, not even your silence. It wants something deeper, a thread, a bond, a promise you didn't mean to make when you pressed play. And the only way to keep it at bay, the only way to hold it off a little longer, is to stay connected. So if you're still listening and you want to survive this, subscribe to Fearful Facts, because the next episode might not just be a story, it might be your own.